Hi guys, welcome back to the channel. In today's video we're going to be learning about the levels of time management. You may not have known, but there are levels to time management, and this is something that I have been thinking about, and I actually came with these 3 levels, which I feel everyone falls into one of these levels. Even though we may operate on these 3 levels, but there's still one that's kind of dominant for each of us. And of course there's the highest level, which is a level that we all should strive to get to, and there's the other 2. So let's get into it. There is a time for everything under the heavens. Ecclesiastes 3:1. The first level is the level of urgency. People who operate on the level of urgency, they're basically running with the wind of every notification, every request, every email they get, everything that just comes their way, they respond to it. So they're running on the wind of the urgent. The idea is that the activities you're doing on this level of being of the urgent are simply activities that you feel are urgent. So it's urgent that I respond to this email. It's urgent that I reply this message. It's urgent that I call this person. It's urgent that I do this. It's urgent that I do that. Oh, I feel so hungry. I definitely have to stop what I'm doing and eat. You just do stuff because of you feel they are urgent. That is the level of urgency. Think back on the things you have done or how you've spent the days you've spent, and just imagine, were you doing things because they felt urgent? It just felt to you that it's super important to do this thing right now. If I don't do this thing right now, there'll be no opportunity to do it again. So it's urgent. I have to respond to all these things quickly. I have to do it. It's urgent. It's urgent. It's urgent. That is basically the level of the urgent. Then we come to the second level, which is definitely better than the first, the importance. Now, the persons that operate on this level of the importance, they are simply accepting to do any and every activity because it gives off the air of being useful, either to themselves or to others. So if you find yourself always doing certain things because you feel, oh, it's important that I do this because it's useful to me, it's useful to others, hence I should do this, you're operating on the level of importance. It's simply saying anything you do, ascribing importance to the things you do because of how they would benefit you or they will benefit someone else, and going ahead to do the activities you do because you feel they are important. Now, the person who is running on the level of importance is obviously not as carried away by every notification and request that the person gets, like the person operating on the level of the urgent. But still, the person operating on the level of the importance will still end the day and ask himself, okay, I know I did some pretty useful things today, but were they necessary? Was it the best I could have done? Where's all these important things I'm doing leading me to? You just end the day and you wonder that, okay, I spent today well, I did some pretty useful things, I did some pretty important things, but so what? So what? Someone asked for help with an article, someone asked for help with something, and you did it and you felt good. I helped someone. And today was useful because I helped someone. Today was useful because I touched this life. Today was useful because this happened, that happened, and these are important things and they are good things. So what? That's the level of the importance. Now we come to the final level, which is the level of the necessary. The people who operate on this level, they are walking on a different plane. They don't do things because it's urgent or because it's important. They focus on activities that are in line with a short-term goal, which is in line with a long-term plan. So that is how they evaluate their day. That is what they give the time of the day to. Activities that flow on to be part of a short-term goal, which flows on to be part of a long-term plan. That's the level of the necessary. You don't just do things because it's important, or do things because it's urgent, or get a message and reply because I just need to do this, I just need to do that, it's important I do this, I have to help this person, I have to do this. You just keep making yourself have to do things that you don't really have to do, making yourself need to do things that you don't really need to do. The person on the level of the necessary does only what is necessary when necessary. So each day you're doing this, you have to study this book, you have to read this, you have to attend this because it's in line with the goal you have for yourself physically, or the goal you have for yourself spiritually, or the financial goals you've set for yourself. So everything that you're doing each day is part of a goal, it's part of the journey to becoming that person that you want to be, that person you see yourself becoming. It's part of a long-term plan. It's part of a big picture. And that is the level that I want you to get to. Now, you also need to know that there are a lot of times that these levels kind of like overlap. The fact that you do a lot of things because they are urgent doesn't mean that that is the only thing you do. Of course, there are times you would also do, someone who's operating on that level of the urgency would also do certain things that are important and would also do things that are necessary. But most times, most of the things they would do are based off urgency. Then the person working on the level of the importance, the person would also do things that are necessary. The person would sometimes do things that are urgent, but a lot of the things the person would do are usually because it's important. Then the person who works on the level of necessary, that person is not like the person that has achieved and attained it all. No, of course the person still does a few things that are urgent or things that are important, but the idea is that a large percentage of what the person does is simply because it's necessary to achieving short-term or long-term goals. So how do we get to the level of the necessary? If right now you're listening to this video and you're like, Excel, all the things I do is simply because they're urgent, like I'm on the urgency plane, how am I supposed to jump and get to the necessary plane? Calm down. It's very easy. The fact that you now understand that there are 3 levels is the first step. So since you understand that, now we move on to jumping to the plane of the necessary. How do we move from urgency to necessary? How do we move from importance to necessary? It's simple. There needs to be short-term goals. There needs to be long-term plans for yourself. When you do not have goals or plans for different aspects of your life, be it your physical, spiritual, your physical body, your financial self, your emotional self, your spiritual self, if you do not have a goal for it, if you do not have a vision in mind for these parts of you, that is what would make you end up doing a lot of things simply because they are urgent. You just want to fill your day with things that you feel are urgent. When you have drawn up goals for yourself, visions for yourself in different aspects of your life, now it becomes paramount to you that there should be short-term goals to reach these long-term goals. Short-term goals now brings you closer to each day. You now understand what you need to do each day in order to get that short-term goal, what you need to do at the end of that short-term goal in order to get the long-term plan. So you see, so the person who is operating at the level of the necessary isn't doing magic. The person is simply doing things that are part of a big plan for the person's life. And you can also do the same. Think of the short-term goals that you have developed for yourself, the long-term plan that you have for yourself. What is it? Now, what do you think you could start doing right now that would slowly get you to that point? When you understand what you need to start doing right now, then you just need to fit it into your day and give it much more time than the other things that you consider urgent and important. And in that way, you'll be able to move from running on urgency or running on the importance or usefulness of things to running on things and doing things that are actually necessary for your self-development and for your improvement as an individual. Thank you guys for listening to this video. Thank you for staying with me till the end. I love you all. Don't forget to like, subscribe, share this video, and meet me in the comments too. Bye.